Hello, beer tubers, and welcome to another Brewery with me, Peter, the master of Hoppets. Today, checking out some more old money stouts, some more KBS and KBS variants. I recently did a re-review or Throwback Thursday of KBS, and I was massively disappointed. That beer was not what I remembered. I don't know if it changed or beer just changed in general. If that beer recipe stayed the same, but things have definitely happened with big stouts. They're bigger, they're richer than ever before. But because of that beer, I got a bottle, just that one beer, and then I found out there's a lot of locally there was a lot of variants available of KBS in a local supermarket. And I was like, oh, I need to try these variants. That would be fun. And then I had that beer. I was like, oh no, why did I get all these? So we're trying 2 variants today, and we got one more, but I'm hoping that's going to be great. We got CBS. And we're going to compare it to the last brewed iteration of that beer, which was 18, I think. And then this one is a 23 vintage. Because last year in 23 was the 20th anniversary of KBS, which is crazy. So because of that, they brewed a whole lot of different variants. I'm not sure how many they did, but there's a few. But one of them is from that anniversary. I think that's also why they brought back CBS. The other one is just a variant that they put out. So the first one we're going to be trying out is the Hazelnut edition, which they put out in 2022. And then we're going to be trying the Blueberry edition that they put out in 23 for the 20th anniversary. So 20 years of KBS, that's actually really impressive. 20 freaking years. Can that really be true though? Like, has KBS been around for 20 years? Maybe. That just sounds absurd to me. I feel like KBS was kind of a new thing when I was getting into beer in like 2012. And that's only that's like 10 or getting into beer. I was getting into beer before that, but when I was in the States, like 11, 12 is where I remember this beer really blowing up online and stuff. The Hazelnut we're going to start with because it's the oldest. It's in bourbon barrels. As always, it's 12%. So I'm fearing flavoring because they've definitely used flavoring in the past at Founders. This is so interesting. There's no... Okay, here we go. Malt beverage brewed with natural artificial flavors. Imperial Stout with chocolate and hazelnut coffee aged in oak bourbon barrels. So they don't even do hazelnut. They do a hazelnut flavored coffee, which is probably a flavored coffee. Yeah, let's see. I mean, artificial flavors can work if there's enough of the real deal, or if the base beer is big enough and whatnot. Using artificial flavors or natural flavors can work in pastry stouts, but it's hard because they dry out the beer and too much can make it seem fake. But let's check out Hazelnut KBS. Pitch black in color, tan looking head, very frothy head when I poured it out. Let's check out the aroma. It smells a bit like Nutella. It actually does, but there is definitely something about it that you can sense this is not real. Like it smells a bit like ice cream, like ice cream flavoring. If you have ice creams, just supermarket stuff, often it's flavored with flavorings as well. It's not just the real deal. And it smells like a hazelnut praline kind of ice cream a bit. It's definitely flavoring. There's almost the same vibes you get from like Yellow Belly Sundae from Omnipollo and Buxton, where it's like this fairly intense nutty note, but there's something about it in the end that you can smell that's not 100% legit. But there's so much hazelnut that I'm not smelling barrel or anything. It's just like hazelnut flavoring that I'm smelling. Maybe a toasty note underneath, but that's for sure dominating everything else. I think it smells better than the original KBS, actually. Surprisingly, but it does not smell like crazy amazing. But let's try it. Cheers. It's a little bit richer than the original KBS. Oh, wait a sec. Up front, it had some velvety note, like a velvety feel, and then really dries out. Dries out like crazy. Like a really dry, ashy, artificial hazelnut flavor. But I actually think it tastes a little bit better than KBS from last year. Just a little bit. But it's not great. It's good. It's actually a good beer. Like, where's the barrel? Like, this tastes a bit more like a pastry stout than anything. It's not that great. Maybe even 85 on KBS was too high. I should have gone like 80 or 78 or something like that. It was just such a shadow as form itself. I think I just had a hard time going lower on the grade. I mean, it's not a bad beer, but it's just like compared to giving it 100 back in the day, and then what it was just weird. It's okay. I think it's very much like a lot of beers were back in the 2010s before they got as rich as they are today. It's lots of hazelnut. That's about it. Charry, slightly ashy. I don't taste the barrel. I hate it, but I'm also not like a big fan. It's a bit of a disappointment, but not as massive a disappointment as with KBS, because now I've already had the massive disappointment. So I kind of knew I would not be 100% satisfied with this, but that hazelnut flavoring is just so strong that it really just overshadows anything else. There's a dry, ashy aftertaste, that's all. No bourbon. Like, if I was blindfolded, I would say, oh, this is a hazelnut beer. I don't think I'd ever say this was bourbon. What's also crazy is like 12%. It's dry. It has a slightly velvety feel going into the mouth, but it's really dry and almost drinks more like a 5-6% stout than an Imperial stout. It's velvety, but it's definitely not rich. I'm thinking they've touched on this a bit as well, just to see how far they can go in terms of dumbing it down. I mean, these guys are owned by, what is it, that big Spanish brewery, San Miguel these days. So, but I expected this. So I would love to try a 2012 KBS right now. That was as good or as fresh as it was when I tried it in 2012. See if it was the same with the palette reference I have right now. Yeah, that would be fun. But you can't do that. You can't do. Unless we can time travel. Moving on. Blueberry. I'm just going to swirl a bit, see if they have the same color of head. Because I think maybe... No, it's the same. Black in color. Looks the same. Tan head, roasty looking. 11.2% this one. And again, 20th anniversary. There's vanilla beans on the label here, so I wonder if it's also got vanilla. Let's see. Barrel-aged Imperial Stout with coffee, chocolate syrup, blueberry, and natural flavors. Did they used to use chocolate syrup in KBS? They even say Michigan-grown blueberries. They maybe put in 2 blueberries. I'm okay. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself here, but it's like, why blatantly lie on labels when it also says natural flavors? Let's check out the aroma on the blueberry KBS. That is very nondescript, and this is a fresher bottle. I mean, this one screams hazelnut because of hazelnut flavoring. Yeah, you can smell it just by smelling the glass, like just also from afar. There is like a tart kind of note. I'm not smelling the barrel. They must also have reduced the barrel aging time or something. I mean, there's like no fucking barrel character on this beer. There is almost like dried blueberries to it. I'm not even getting chocolate or coffee. It's just like smells like a macro interpretation of a barrel-aged stout. Fuck, I'm getting pissed off. Oh man, that review I was too easy on KBS. I shouldn't have given that beer an 85. Okay, fuck that. Let's try it. Cheers. It tastes like cough syrup. Like fruity cough syrup. What is this, man? What'd you do? What did you guys do? It's like so sad. Like this used to be a pedestal beer. It used to be a pedestal beer. What did you do to my boy? It's just like, I know it's part of growth, but do you have to keep growing and like more money, more money, more money? Can you be satisfied with what you do and love making what you make? I think maybe even like one of the beers that was really talked about back in the day, Lizard of Kos from Founders. People trashed that beer. They hated it because the blueberry is so artificial and sweet and blah, blah. That beer was better than this, I think. I never did a full review of it, but I tried it. I never did a review because it was in 750s and they're really expensive in Europe. They're like, well, these days we pay that much for beer and we're like, oh, it doesn't matter. It's a great hype beer. But back in the day, it was like 250 or something like that, Danish crowns for a bottle. And we're like, oh, that's way too much. And maybe also because the reputation of the beer was not that great. But we got it, I think I remember trying it in a bottle store and we were all agreeing that it's not that bad. It had a lot of blueberry flavor and the barrel was there and everything. Like, I remember that being better than this. This is like fucking weird. It just tastes like blueberry cough syrup. Like, there's no barrel character in these beers. There's no fucking bourbon. These claim to be bourbon barrel aged beers. The weird fucking thing is they're in Denmark. There's a massive fan base for this beer still. That must be people that haven't tried what's really going on in the world of barrel aged. Like, any freaking Danish barrel aged beer is better than this stuff. This is like, what the fuck? This just screams being bought up by a macro producer and then dumbing down everything as much as you can. Like when you have a bourbon barrel aged beer that's just been in the barrel for maybe 6 months, like I feel like you're definitely able to pinpoint that there's barrel aging happening. And that's like not a lot of time. But here is like, this just tastes like a flavor. This tastes like blueberry. This tastes like hazelnut with blueberry cough syrup. I do maybe sense a little bit of chocolate in this one as well. Fuck, KBS has become a trash beer. They're not technically flawed, but they're just like, they seem so macro. Maybe a little bit of coffee, a little bit of chocolate, and then blueberry cough syrup. Those are like the dominant flavors on this. I'm so scared to revisit CBS. If they fuck these up, and they fucked up KBS, they bring back CBS, they fucked up CBS. I'm just hoping that my original bottle from 18 is going to be better. But was that doing the buyout? I think the 18 was pretty good as far as I remember still. I just remember a lot of these beers having barrel flavors, like more pronounced. What the fuck? These are really way too expensive and not worth your time. You're going to have a local beer producer, most likely wherever you're in the world, that's going to be making better barrel aged beer than this. When you have heroes or something, like any other industry or anything you're passionate about, if it's a video game, if it's a music artist, if it's a filmmaker, they make stuff that's just like they were just making all these great things and you're like loving whatever it was that was made. And then all of a sudden it's bought out and they take a massive corporate dip and it's like, what the fuck is going on? And they don't often listen to the people talking, like the fans. They're like, and they just keep messing it up. It's almost like Disney with Star Wars, but like fucking. This is how I feel about this. This is just like, this is a brewery, and they've had that shitstorm as well. So I should, like, I forgot about that actually with the KBS review. Some people talked about all the stuff that happened with bad work environments, and they had some statements that was very racist at Founders, which I actually do remember, but I forgot about it in that video. It's like, wow, man, these guys really deserve what's been coming for them because the beer is also not great anymore. I'm really fucking saddened to see such a well-known brewery go this way. It's just like, got breweries like this, And then you got like, if there's so many other breweries like that's also weird. Like this is a brewery that sold out, and the beers have turned into this. And then you still drink fucking great bourbon counties, and that's Anheuser-Busch InBev. This is like, what the fuck? But I think 85 was too high on KBS. That should be maybe max 80, and then these are like 75, something like that. Yeah, I'm gonna score them equally because I think they're equally boring. But like, it amazes me what's happened to this beer. So yeah, KBS, the fucking flagship is definitely sunken. What the hell? I am so scared of trying CBS, but let's see. I'm hoping the vintage bottle I have will hold up, but I don't have my hopes high anymore. I don't like, wow, what the fuck? So yeah, if you guys, you probably, some agree, some disagree. That's okay. We can always disagree. That's okay. But like, I'd love to hear some feedback on KBS. What other variants did they put out for the anniversary? And are any actually still really good? Is there any really, really good Founders beer still around? Like, if KBS is like this, how is Curmudgeon's Better Half and Backwoods Bastard and these kind of legendary beers going to be like? Because they used to have a lot of bourbon flavor. These don't taste like the barrel whatsoever. Massively disappointing. But yeah, if you guys had Blueberry and Hazelnut KBS, let me know what you thought of them. And as always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page and Twitter and Instagram. Give the video a thumbs up, enjoy it, and ring the bell for future notifications about videos. And I'm going to say cheers without drinking any more of this stuff because I'm so disappointed, and see you guys in another beer review.